Peace and love, y'all. Peace and love. This is yours truly, G Pal, also known as General Pal Shadows, better known as Author P.E. McCallum, author of this book, NGR, What Does It Mean? An expose on the N-word from a hip-hop perspective. Welcome to the NGR Exposed platform. Back with another great video today. It's been a minute, y'all, since I've been here on YouTube. I want to say thank you to everybody who's subscribed to this platform. I want to encourage you to keep checking out these videos. I have a lot of information that I want to be sharing with y'all from now on. And it's been a minute since I've been on. You know, I know it's been a while, but hey, I'm back. You know, and I'm back to stay. I'm here to stay. So I want to appreciate all of y'all who are checking out my videos, subscribing, and liking these videos. And today, we have another fun video because these are my favorites because I get to kind of like, we get to talk about some things surrounding other people's videos that we are looking at. And we get to analyze some things that other people are doing around the N-word and what they're talking about and discussing. So today is no different. This video comes from Club Shay Shay. So if you haven't already, I suggest you go on over to Shannon Sharp's platform and Club Shay Shay, subscribe and like this video. This video is called White People Acting Black and Using the N-Word. And in this video, he's interviewing Mark Norman. Of course, we're only going to listen to the audio, but we're going to check it out and break it down. And then we're going to talk about how it relates to the N-word in my book. So let's go.
That's Blake Griffin about code switching around black people and white people. Mm-hmm. Do you believe it's common?
Oh, yeah, I think so. I think we code switch all the time, but the black-white is the most obvious.
Yes.
When I'm around my mom, I'm not talking the way I am with you.
Right.
And that's a code switch.
Yes.
But I think white and black culture is so strong. Uh-huh. Each of them is so strong that it's obvious, more obvious.
Right. So when you run your black friends, you're like, hey, dog, check this out. Let me holler at you right quick.
No, don't do that. That's crazy. Where are you at on the wigger? I don't know if that's the correct term. What do black guys think about the wigger? Because I look at it like I like carrots and I hate carrot cake. I like black people, that's carrots, but I hate carrot cake.
Right.
That's
I don't like carrot cake either. I really haven't been around because the white friends I have, they're white.
Yeah.
They're
So he asked about the wigger. You know, I remember I first came across this term when I was in high school. The wigger is the white N-word, right? That's what wigger is short for, the white N-word. And it's a derogatory term. You know, it's a derogatory term, and it's a term, like, just for the record, right? On this NGR Exposed platform, me myself, G Pal, I don't also known as Author P.E. McCallum, of course. I don't like to use any racial slurs, right? Any derogatory terms. The N-word, calling people coons, calling people crackers, calling people hunky and spick and all these terms, man. I don't use them, you know. Because just like the N-word, these terms are used to degrade you. And anything that's used to degrade you, I personally don't want in my vocabulary. I don't want to make other people, I don't want to put other people down, simply because I don't want them to put me down. So the simple reason that I don't use derogatory terms is because I don't want people using derogatory terms on me and my people. It's that simple. It's really that simple. So wigger. You know, that's a white N-word. That's what that means.
That's their place.
Right.
And when I get around them, I'm me. I don't get around oh, Lord, what you done with the place. When are we going to the Hamptons? Oh, my goodness. It is beautiful up there this time of year. That's not who I am. So they already know when you see me, when you talk to me, this is who I am.
Wow, I almost gave you a loan. That was great. Well done. I
just think people should be who you are.
Be who you are.
When you become friends, you accept that person for who they are. Yeah. So I don't need you to try to like, oh, I'm really down with you, bro. I speak your language. I'm good. I let you know that I'm really, really down. Nah, bro. Be you.
Agreed.
But it's
I agree. Agreed. Yeah, be you. Forget the code switching. You know, we're not gonna get into a better place with between the races and race relations in general by people not being themselves and code switching, right? Which is when you get around different groups of people, you begin to act other than how you normally act around you and your own people of your own nationality or your own ethnicity or race. So for instance, an example of that would be when I'm at TSU at Tennessee State, and I'm addressing young Black and Indigenous students. I may speak with more slang. I may use more terms that are Ebonic, you know, that are described as Ebonics. I might, start, really, and this may be genuine. You know what I'm saying? This is how I was taught. This is how I was raised and how I really talk. But then when I go at Vanderbilt, outside of giving a lecture, I start speaking with a different vernacular, and I start kind of like imitating and doing my best impression of a white person. That doesn't help race relations, because you don't want to be around people who don't accept you for who you are. If people can't accept you for who you are, and of course I'm talking about when you present yourself in your best form, you know what I'm saying? And your best form ain't always speaking proper. But when you're really being yourself and you're in your best state, you don't have to code switch in order to be accepted. Be yourself, and that's helpful to actual race relations, because we have to be able to accept each other for who we are in order to have true friendships and true relationships.
I guess they feel like I got to show him that I'm down, that I'm cool, that nah, bro, it's unnecessary.
But look at Gavin Newsom. He's in hot water right now. Did you see that whole thing?
Oh yeah, something about the SAT.
Yeah, he's like, oh, I'm just like you. I can't read or whatever. And you're like, what are you doing? Or
I don't know about that. I didn't hear about that.
All, as a honky, it's all very embarrassing.
The N-word. Do you think there is ever a...
He called himself a honky. Now, I don't use these terms. You'll never hear me use the term honky, right, to describe white folk. You know what I'm saying? So-called white folk. But, he did. It's the same way, like, that's an example of how we use the N-word as a term of endearment. So, question, leave it in the comments. Do white folk use honky as a term of endearment? Cracker as a term of endearment? I know. I live in the South, right? And I know that they use redneck as a term of endearment and things like that. Like, let's be specific. Not things like that. Like, specifically redneck. The term redneck is used like Gretchen Wilson, the country singer. Gretchen Wilson says, I'm a redneck woman. She called herself a redneck. Some people would say that's derogatory. Is it? It's up for you to decide. Let me know in the comment, white folk. Do y'all use redneck, cracker, hunky among yourselves to describe yourselves the same way that Black and Indigenous folk use the N-word? But he definitely used it right here with no shame.
A situation where it's okay for someone of the opposite race to use that word.
Well, it's tough because when I was a kid, my Black friends would with me and be like, come on, say it. And it was a joke, but they'd always, yell at you to make you say it. And then you'd have 6 of them going, say it, say it. It was very uncomfortable. But I don't know. I just don't do it. There's so much venom in that word, so.
Yes.
So he just said something very, very interesting. I found very interesting. He said that a group of Black and Indigenous kids when he was young, remember I used the term Black and Indigenous on this channel to describe what we call African Americans, but he said that these 6 of his friends was urging him on when he was a kid to use the N-word and to say the N-word, just to say it. You know what I'm saying? Because I guess they thought it was cool. I never seen that. You know what I'm saying? I never seen that. My friends of European descent, white friends or whatever, growing up, I never would do that. We didn't play. I'm from the South, man. We didn't play with the N-word down here, man. we just, maybe it's different in other places out. You know, I lived in LA for many years. I lived up north off and on. Spent a lot of time in Detroit and Chicago. It's different. Maybe it's different down here in the South. We just do not play with that word at all. So let me know in the comments if any of y'all ever experienced that, where you and your friends, your black friends, were egging white folk
Obviously,
on.
the songs are a little tricky. You know, in every rap song we all love, you want to go, maybe you say it alone.
Right.
But nah, I don't partake.
I mean, I don't listen to what people say in a movie or what they do in the movie and think I can recreate that in the real world. So just because someone, I mean, you might call, hey baby, call your wife, hey baby, hey honey, hi sugar mom. But if another man call your wife that, you gonna feel some type of way.
It's a good point.
You like, hold on now. You know him, honey?
Right.
So why are you calling you baby? Why are you calling you sugar?
That's a good analogy. I've never heard that take.
Yeah, so hold on. So I just think the thing is, in every group have a way of communicating within their subgroup.
Mm-hmm.
Gay people have a way of communicating with gay people.
Yes.
Trans have a way of communicating with trans. They might say something. Women will call each other the B word. I wouldn't dare think about calling a woman that.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I hear someone else talking in their subgroup,
right.
how they talk. Oh, now when he said it or she said it, I should be able to say it.
Right.
Gay people call each other gay and derogatory terms all the time. That's them, and that's the way they communicate.
Yeah.
Just because they communicate like that, I'm not in that subgroup. What makes me give me the right to feel I can because they can?
But would you do it behind their back?
No.
Uh-huh.
Nah.
I don't know. I got some texts. Right? Yeah, I agree with the N-word. My whole thing is, how about a little credit for coming up with it?
Who did?
All right, no, I'm just fucking around.
Dave Chappelle.
Yeah, love him.
I don't know.
Shannon Sharp just made a very, very interesting point. He said that gay people call each other drop F-bombs, and they can use it to describe among themselves. Like a gay person could call another gay person the F word. You know what I'm saying? F-A-G or whatever. And it's okay. Like a woman can call another female a bitch. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. Or a hoe or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And they can use these terms and it's not a problem. Like, however, it is a problem when a man calls a female that and he doesn't know that woman and he sees her at the club. That same woman, right, who let her homegirl call her the B word a minute ago, may get offended when a man calls her that she don't know at the club later on that night. Same day, same girl, same word, different circumstance. So very interesting point. And you can ask yourself, why is it like that? You know, some things there's no logic, there's no rhyme or reason to it. There's no really rhyme or reason to why gay people can call each other these terms and disrespectful terms to each other. Why black folk can call each other the N-word. Why other groups why women can call other women B's and H's, but if you say it, they mad. You know, there's no rhyme or reason to these things. This is just human nature.
Carlin, there have been guys that could weave a story, but nobody in the last 30 years can do what Dave Chappelle does.
Probably the best orator in my lifetime, and I just hung out with him in his club in Ohio. Yes. We got pretty drunk together.
So I think that he we'll end the video right there. Go run over to Club Shay Shay, subscribe to this platform. White people acting black and using the N-word. Mark Norman reacts. Subscribe to this platform and like that video if you haven't already. I like to read take an excerpt from my book, NGR, What Does It Mean? An expose on the N-word from a hip-hop perspective. And again, it's available on Amazon in paperback, audiobook, and Kindle. So please run over and get your copy. But I think this section in my book is appropriate for today's lesson. And it says, it's called, for today's topic, rather, it's called The N-Word is Dangerous, and it's on page 128 in my book. The N-Word is Dangerous. The African American Registry, a site dedicated to inspiring the young minds of the future, confirms that the N-word, as we now know it, is more likely a derivative of the word Niger, which is Latin. Niger eventually became the word Negro, black or black person in English, and simply the color black in Spanish and Portuguese. But what piqued my interest about this article is that it proposes that it is likely that Nigger, the N word with the hard R, is a phonetic spelling of the white southern mispronunciation of Negro. I've wondered about this for quite some time because this is a normal phonetic phenomenon. People mispronounce words, and then that word takes on another spelling with the same meaning. I'm sure that the European slave traders of that period were not trying to refer to an enslaved person in any reasonable way, no matter what word they might have used. The need to subject my ancestors to harsh and cruel punishment fueled the need for the N-word as we know it today. The enslavers needed a reason to see the people they mistreated as less than human. To commit those atrocities against the people, there would almost have to be some cognitive dissonance. So it makes a lot of sense why at some point during the 18th century, at the height of the transatlantic slave trade, Europeans began using the N-word with this new definition as justifications for the harsh conditions of slavery. From this, we understand how the N-word became such a negative phenomenon, as it seems it was by design. And I want to remind everybody that the N-word originally came from Africa, and I talk about this, and I go about this in detail. And it was used in Africa, what we call Africa today, among Africans, and it meant something aggrandizing and something positive toward black and indigenous people. And today it's become, so the N-word originally came from NGR, the title of my book, NGR, right? Or Netger. And they can be found in the Egyptian or Kemetic hieroglyphics. These various variations of the N-word can be found in the hieroglyphics. You also have words like negus in ancient Ethiopia, in the ancient land of Kush. The word negus was a popular term for king, monarch, or ruler of the land, negus. And the king of kings is called the negus negast. And over time we have, when the Europeans invaded Africa, we have Niger, we have Negro, and things of that nature, and eventually the N-word with the hard R, which the British popularized. So all this can be found in my book. I go into a thorough definition of how the N-word began as something positive and became something totally demoralizing and degrading as we know it today. Get my book, NGR, What Does It Mean? An expose on the N-word from a hip-hop perspective. Go to Amazon right now. Thank y'all so much for checking out this platform. Remember, man, and everything that you do, keep hip stepping. Hip step over any obstacle, any opposition that gets in your way. You got to hip step over that and spread love, not hate. All right, you feel me? Because we got enough haters in the world, don't we? Yeah, I think so.